Hi, how are you? Come in. Oh, how are you doing today? You're good. Oh, wonderful. You're a very pretty bird. Wonderful. Well, what brings you to my establishment? Okay. Okay, yeah, I can totally help you with that. Yes, so my name is Basil. I'm here generally to help any of our customers. Normally people are the people, are people that come in, but, I have helped us a few birds and a few crows before in the past. So tell me, you have a few items and you want to have me rate them as to how they would be good holiday gifts for your sort of human friends. Is that correct? Okay. Okay. Well, that's absolutely something that I can help you with. But I have to say, you have a fabulous bag and you've brought a lot of things. I worry about sort of your your joints, right? Like, I think if you need help, please don't. We do have a lot of sort of services that can be used. Typically, they're not for birds specifically, but we can accommodate. We are nothing if not resourceful. So if you need anything from us, please let me know. You can just place your stuff down. We'll go through it one by one, and we'll get through it. Okay. Okay, so how this is going to work is that I'm going to take out an item from your bag, one at a time, and I'm going to ask for an explanation as to what it is, and see how I feel if I were to get it as a gift, just as a human consultant. Okay? Okay, wonderful. And so I do want to know, though, just as a quick question, but like, how many human friends are you planning to get all these like nice shiny gifts for? Or is it more for just like one human friend that's like a special human friend that you're getting a bunch of these things for? Okay. Okay, well, I'll give you more of a general, and you let me know if the person that you have in mind for that gift is like, wouldn't, or would think a little differently perhaps, but I'm merely a consultant, so we shall go ahead and get started, okay? So let's go ahead and see in your bag, what do you have first? Okay. Okay, I know you, okay. This is the first thing. This is a hair clip, is that right? Okay. And so I would like to ask you, first of all, what is the gender of the human that you're thinking about giving this gift to? Okay. Okay. This can be used regardless of gender. I only ask this because I think that this type of clip is typically used by the more feminine people. But I understand that you're a crow. You may not know gender. And this is very shiny. It is very shiny. I will give you that. But I will say that it feels a little bit on the cheap side. It does have a nice snap to it, doesn't it? It has a very nice snap to it, and it has a lovely finish, right? And you're just mesmerized by it, aren't you? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See? You're following it. It's brilliant. So here's what I'm thinking. You could give this, and I think people would appreciate a crow giving it. But if I were to get this as a gift, I would not find too many uses for it. Maybe I would have a use or two for it. I have pretty short hair, so if your human has longer hair, it might be more useful. So something to keep in mind. But I would rate this a solid 4 out of 10. Every item is gonna get a rating. This is a 4 out of 10. If it came in a pack, did you get this from a pack? Other birds were taking. I see you all found a pack together. Okay. All the other crows were also. I understand. I would say this by itself might not be. Any gift is appreciated, but this is not going to cut it, to be honest. I think that, you don't want to get this sort of thing. You're a crow, right? You're not. You may be a crow, but you are. You definitely have class, right? So this doesn't scream good gift giving from a crow, let's say. Okay? Okay. So I would say 4 out of 10. If maybe give it to your lesser liked humans. Okay? Okay. So next, let's see what you brought in here. Oh, I see something not super shiny. Oh. Interesting. Interesting. Is this part of an ear? I see you ripped it off of a human, live human. Okay, interesting. And pray tell, why did you do that? So this is your human's like arch nemesis, and you ripped off the ear to give it to them as a present. You know what? That context does change things a little bit. You went ahead and cauterized the wound here, which I think is very helpful. As you can see, there's no blood. You did a very good job. It's actually very clean. Does your beak do tears very, very clean like that? Interesting. I didn't know that about crows. Okay, well, if that is the case, I would say that this is a very personal gift. And if it's personal like that, then I would say that it's a person-by-person basis. Something like this can be as high as like a 9 out of 10 if they really hate their arch nemesis. But if it's more of a frenemies kind of situation, I'm so sorry. I know crows, I don't know if you have the concept of frenemies, but if it's a frenemies kind of situation, which is a friend and an enemy, it's really hard to sort of differentiate. What you'll end up having is that they might be a little horrified by this. But I honestly think that you would know more than me about your human, right? So tell me, does your human partake in sort of the goth aesthetic? Do they like, would they call themselves emo? Or would they say they're in like a scene resurgence? Or maybe grunge would be something that you would describe them, or maybe hardcore. Do any of these words sort of bring to mind the human that this would go to? Yes. Okay, then I would safely say this is at least a 7 or 8 out of 10. I mean, you went through the trouble of cauterizing the wound. I would say that you picked a human with a very interesting ear shape. And you really got in there. And it doesn't look like you've suffered any damage for it. Did they fight back? I see. I see. That's very impressive. I didn't know that crows had like such unique abilities to be able to, drug their victims first before they're able to take off. I see. You're very, I don't want to get on the wrong side of, remind me not to get on the wrong side of your, or the bad side of you. So I would definitely say 8 out of 10. I would say this is a good gift, very personal, very creepy, but I would say honestly, well worth it, to be honest. There's a lot of effort put in, and really, honestly, the best holiday gifts are the ones that have effort put in, right? Like, it's something that you can't really put a price tag on. You can't put a price tag on this. Absolutely not. Okay, well, I'm going to put this down. Okay, so we have the 4 out of 10, and then we have the sort of 8 out of 10. Next, let's see. What did you bring here? What is this? What is this? Interesting. Okay, so this is clay. There's a paw print in it. Looks like a bird. Sorry, not a bird. A cat print. Is that correct? Okay, and pray tell, whose cat? What cat is this? I see. So the human that you're thinking of bringing this to had a cat, but that cat sadly passed away, and this is their print that you got? I see. How did you manage that as a crow? I feel like that's very... You have friends in high places. You know what? There's nothing that a good friend in a high place can't do. I understand. I completely understand. So I would say that this is incredibly special. And, it can be something that they can remember their cat by, something very, very meaningful. So I would definitely go ahead and say that this is at least a 9 out of 10, maybe a 10 out of 10. It's not particularly shiny, so it doesn't fit the brand of crow. But I think that kind of makes it a little bit more special, don't you think? Yeah. Okay. Well, I need you to teach me your ways a little bit, because so far it's very impressive. Aside from that first gift, I mean, so far it's been pretty impressive. Okay? Okay. This next one I'm interested in. I know what this is. This is a laboo. Where did you get a laboo? They're very hard to come by. You waited in line at Pop Mart. Very interesting. You went with the full laboo, not a lafufu. Interesting. And so this is a little bit of a mixed bag here, because while it is a very hot item right now, as a holiday gift, it depends on who you're getting it for, right? First of all, the laboo's naked, right? So it's a little bit indecent. You know, there's no shirt, there's no shoes, not even a hat. And I would say that, you know, what is a laboo without a hat? On the other hand, if you know that your human finds this sort of creature cute and not creepy, then this could be a good gift. What is that? Oh, you were more interested in this. I see. It is shiny. Well, I would say that you found a very good, a very shiny, I don't even know what people call this, sort of the thing you hook things onto. Well, I would say that you lucked out. I would say that this is pretty good. It is a bit of a mixed bag, so I would say do a little bit of research. Maybe ask a few leading questions towards your human. Be like, hey, do you know what a laboo is? Do you like a laboo? So you waited in line on Pop Mart for this? Am I getting that right? Okay. Well, if that's the case, there are many ways to get something like this without the attached laboo, but I think that you lucked out there. Okay, I would say this is 6 out of 10. Could be higher if they like the laboo, could be lower if they don't like the laboo. Okay? And also, I would say that green is perhaps not the ideal color. A lot of people like the other colors, mainly because the color corresponds to the nose right here, and because the actual, they want the nose to match the skin, which does kind of make me think maybe the laboo, what made them choose this skin color in particular. But you know what? That's a conversation for a different time. You are a crow, so I'm going to go ahead and put that down. So 6 out of 10, tentative. Put an asterisk on that. Okay, crow? Okay. Well, let's see what else you have brought. Let's see. Let me dig around here. And okay. All right. What is this? Where did you get this from? I see. So this is a crystal. I cannot tell if it's fake or real. If I examine it pretty closely here, you want to look at it with me? Okay. Yeah, see, it doesn't look particularly real, but it's very pretty. And it does fit that shininess, so I think you have that going for it. And then there are sort of these rocks, sort of not gems, but maybe gems, attached here in sort of a nice color palette, I would say. So how did you perchance come upon this item? I see. You went to a very old woman's house and and just grabbed it. Where was it? It was hanging. Okay. I think I understand what this is. Then maybe this is like a light catcher sort of situation where the light's supposed to come in and reflect. So if that's the case, I think it hits the mark on shininess, which I think crows particularly really like. Humans are not so jazzed about the shininess. It is a factor. I mean, we do love diamonds, even though, the ethics of having a diamond and getting a diamond can be very hit or miss. But I would say that this will depend on how your human styles their living space. So do you think that they are the human that's going to get this, do you think that they are going to like this sort of color color and likeness, right? Because you mentioned grunge, you mentioned goth, right? So different person. Okay, then I would say 3 out of 10, personally. Personally, I would say 3 out of 10. I would not be super jazzed if I got something like this, only because I wouldn't know what to do with it. I think I would hang it, forget about it, and then throw it away later because I wouldn't know. You're saying that the lady you stole this from was talking about the different gems and how they relate to, like, emotions. Interesting. Okay. That doesn't change anything for me, but that does give me an idea as to why someone might like it. But I'm still going to give it a 3 out of 10. Okay. It does not mean anything about you. It doesn't mean that you are doing a bad job. You found some really wonderful items, and I think that the effort that you put in for some of these items are, to be honest, very impressive for a crow of your stature. So yeah, I completely. And you know what? Like, if you were a smaller crow, if you were a crow that didn't hit the gym, then, some of these might not even be available to you, right? You wouldn't be able to do it. But I think because of how swole you are as a crow, like that ear, I mean, that's perfect. Okay, so how many more items do you have? You have a few more. Okay. Let's see. What else did you get? Okay. This is nail polish. Did you know that? Okay, you found it was shiny and it was kind of liquidy. Okay, interesting. Does your human, or the human that's going to get this, are they particularly... do they wear nail polish? You don't really know what nail polish is. Okay, so nail polish is sort of the colors that go onto the tips of a human's fingers. I see they paint it in blood. Interesting. Is this the same grunge sort of goth person? Okay, this might work for them, actually. This might be a very, very good... Here, let me see the consistency of this. Ooh, okay. Okay. It's looking good. It's pretty glittery, I will say. Perhaps not the direct vibe of a grunge person, but you know what? Grunge is all over, and by all over, I mean it's multifaceted. So I will say this is going to make a good gift. I'd say 7.5, 8. What did I say for the ear? 8. This is like a 7. It's a little less effort than the ear. The ear is pretty. You know what? I might bump up the ear, to be honest, because that ear was pretty impressive. And then, okay, this is the last item that you have. Okay, so you got, what is this? It's a piece of wood and this, which is like a popsicle stick. Pray tell, what was this for? This is made out of your favorite tree. So did you make this yourself? No, you had a human make it. Okay, interesting. And you wanted it to be sort of like a writing device. I see your human sort of has an implement that they're constantly looking at. So you wanted to get them something that's bigger. Is that right? And then you see they have some sort of pencil, let's say, that they tap the thing. Is that right? Well, I'm sorry to say that what you're thinking about is perhaps what humans call a phone. And phones are really, they're devilish creatures. You know, they're trying to get our attention all the time, and they're particularly soul-sucking. So I think this is actually a pretty good gift, but it highlights the cultural difference between crow kind and humankind. So I would say that this might be a good gag gift, or it could be a very good sort of second gift, right? So you give the paw print, right? And you give this. You say, even though I don't understand your kind, I try my best, and I give you the paw print because I know you like, I want you to have some sentimental value in the item that I give you, some effort put in. So I think this is a very, very good item as a second item. But by itself, if I were to get it by myself, I would say this is like maybe a 1 or 2. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's definitely something that I think you should be proud of. And honestly, the fact that you brought all of these here today, it is very impressive. You know, I have talked to many a crow and none have had your abilities. You know, they get distracted very easily. And I'll be honest, me and crows tend to, you know, we see each other, we acknowledge each other, but we do sort of steer clear from each other. So to be honest, this conversation has been very eye-opening for me and you're very thoughtful. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, if you want, I can separate the items for you as to like the ones that we think are good, ones that maybe are bad. And then if you want, you can even tell me the specific humans. We can send it for you or we can give you smaller bags. Of course, we do have a reduction system, so we can, of course, modify the sizes of all of your items to become smaller so that you can carry them. And then once you give them to the human, they will you know, through technological advancement, they will, of course, increase in size and become the original size that they were supposed to be. That way, it'll be a little bit easier for you to carry them and whatnot. I can absolutely do that for sure. Okay, well, I will go ahead and get that started. If you can wait for me over there. Yes, I know our seats are pretty... they're for humans, but you can just take a seat there, and so long as... luckily, the seats are bright, so you will stand in very dark, like stark contrast, so no one's going to sit on you. And I will be with you shortly, okay? Okay, then. Well, I will get back to you soon, okay? Okay. Bye-bye.